What up, guys? Today I'm showing you guys how to set up StreamLabs OBS so you guys can get your hands on this stuff and start streaming and doing whatever you want with this program. So first off, you're going to open up Google Chrome. You're going to go over here to StreamLabs.com. Download button's going to be right here for you guys, so just hit download StreamLabs OBS. If you guys want OBS Studio, you're going to go over to obsproject.com. And then it's gonna be right here, so you can download the Windows, Mac. So whatever you guys need, you guys can just download it. It's all free. So download that stuff. Once it's all downloaded, it'll open up like this. It won't look exactly like this, but it'll basically open up in this format. The top left and the bottom left is where you're gonna start off. So right here, we got the App Store. So in the StreamLabs OBS App Store, we got all kinds of stuff. So we got overlays, we have music, we have channel growth, viewers interaction, game stats, tools, and sponsorships. So mainly when you're starting off, you kind of just want to take a look at the overlays. There's going to be a bunch of super cool overlays that are free that you guys can add. You just got to install them and then add them to your StreamLabs OBS layout editor right here. After that, you can go into the themes, choose whatever theme you want. There's widget themes, tip page themes, and scenes. So you guys can just customize it. You can do all the same. I kind of have my overlays and my themes all like the same because I don't want it to look like kind of all over the place. But honestly, you guys could make it look pretty cool if you wanted to. Right here, we got the alert box library. So it just kind of gives you a bunch of alert boxes. It shows you a little clip of what they'll look like when it happens. You guys can install these. There's a bunch of free ones, bunch of cool looking ones. You guys just pick. So once you install these, go over here, and then it's going to show you this little drop down menu right here. It'll show you whatever themes you got, and then you're just going to input the theme basically. So after that, you're going to go down to the bottom left area right here, and this cogwheel is where you're going to enter the settings. This is debatably the most important part of setting up StreamLabs OBS. So you guys are going to want to do this either first or after you get an overlay. So yeah, we're just going to run through the settings really quick, go down one by one on the left side right here. So for general settings, you're not going to change a whole lot of them. A lot of them are going to start off default, and that's completely fine. Obviously, just change your language to whatever language you guys speak. And then for the output settings. So for me right here, I have automatically record when streaming on because I like to make clips and upload to YouTube and use my streams for content and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys want to do that kind of stuff, then tick automatically record when streaming. The source alignment snapping, you can leave that alone. You don't really need to change any of that. But for any other output settings, just click them if you guys want. If you guys want to keep recording when stream stops, hit that. So going on into the stream settings right here. So you're just basically going to link up whatever platform you stream to. So I stream on Twitch. If you stream on Facebook, you can link that. YouTube, you can link that. Any other platforms, you just add the destination right here and it'll come up. For the output settings, so we're going to go into advanced output mode. And then you got the streaming, recording, audio, and replay buffer right here. So for the audio track, you can leave that. Whatever number it is. Honestly, the default's perfectly fine. For the encoder, I recommend hardware NVENC new. And that just runs kind of better than any other encoder. For the rate control, you're going to want to put on CBR. Basically what CBR means is constant bit rate. So what that means is basically your stream won't fluctuate in bit rate, which means that your quality will stay the exact same through the entire stream. For your bit rate, I recommend setting it at 2500 or 3000. Basically, the way bitrate works is depending on how good your PC is, you can put the bitrate higher. But depending on how good the internet of your viewer is, they won't be able to see your stream in good quality. So I recommend you put it at 2500 or 3000 because that allows your PC to not overwork itself, but it also allows the viewer watching you to not have garbage quality while watching you. So it'll still allow them to put it at 720, 1080, depending on their internet. So I like to leave it at 2500. It's good for my PC. It's good for the viewers. Everything's good all around. So everything else in this section you can leave at default. So let's go to recording now. So in the recording right here, you're going to put your recording format. The type, you can leave it as standard. You're going to put your recording format to whatever editing software you like to use. So my editing software goes off the FLV file format. So I have it set to FLV. If you're using anything else like Premiere Pro, Vegas, anything like that, you're going to want to change the recording format. It might change automatically. Don't take my word for that. But I would just take a look whenever you have an editing software that you like. The recording hardware, you're going to put it at hardware NVENC new again. Rate control, CBR, same thing. Bitrate, same thing. Profile, I'll put it at high. And then that's pretty much it for the recording settings. For audio, I would leave this all default. If you want to change it up, you can. Make sure if you change one of the bit rates up, you change all of the bit rates up. But other than that, I would just leave it default. My stream sounds perfectly fine, so you can take my word for it or you can switch it up. Completely up to you. Replay buffer. You don't need replay buffer. If you have replay buffer, that's completely fine. It's honestly all depending on how you like to run your stream. So I have a maximum replay time of 20 seconds, which means that if someone comes into the stream late and something just happened, they can push it back 20 seconds or the delay will be 20 seconds earlier. So that way they can still see what just happened. That kind of thing. You don't really need it. Honestly, I don't recommend stream buffer or replay buffer or stream delay or anything like that. Completely up to you. So now going into the audio settings, you're going to leave your sample rate at 44.1 kilohertz. You're going to put the channels to stereo. Okay, leave it as stereo. I highly recommend 44.1 and I highly recommend stereo. For your desktop audio device, you only need one desktop audio device. And you can either have that to whatever audio device comes from your desktop, whether it be your monitor itself, whether it be speakers you have hooked up to your monitor, or whether it be headphones, anything like that. I would leave it at default if you don't have a set desktop audio device, like output. I leave it at default. Default works fine. Everything else you can leave disabled. Up in video, for base canvas resolution, I recommend 1920 by 1080p. And I know you're looking at my screen like, oh, that's not 1920 by 1080p. But like my monitor is a different type of monitor. It has 4K. So my base canvas resolution is going to be 2560 by 1440. It makes it a little bit harder for videos like this. You're going to kind of tell that the resolution's a little bit like fuzzy for you guys watching this resolution. But when it comes to streams, I like to have it at 2560 by 1440. Output scaled resolution, you're always going to have this at 1280 by 720. You don't need anything more, don't need anything less. This is going to work perfect, even if you don't have a God PC, even if your internet's not that great. Always 1280 by 720. The downscale filter, bicubic sharpening scaling 16 samples is by far the best. You're going to want to have this one over everything, 100%. Common FPS values is perfectly fine for the FPS. And then the type will be common. The amount, depending on your PC, I would say 60 is pretty average. If you're playing a lot of PC games, run it on 60. You're not going to run PC games on 30 FPS. It's going to look bad. If you're playing console games, you can run 30. I would recommend using the setting where it's 30 but 60 when available. So if you can run 60 100%. If not, then run the other one, 30. And then when 60 is possible, run 60. It just does it automatically. So for hotkeys now, hotkeys are not by any means necessary, but they are really good in terms of keeping your stream clean. So you can have your hotkeys set for your scenes, where it goes from the starting scene to the live scene to the end scene to whatever you have. And you can set that to F1, F2, F3, F4. You can set it to numbers on your keyboard, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter, but it just kind of like keeps more of a clean transition. So I recommend hotkeys if you want to make your stream look a little bit more professional, but by no means is a hotkey necessary. For advanced settings right here, you can leave most of this as default. These settings that I got right here are default. The main thing in advanced settings is this right here, the audio monitoring device. I can't express enough how important the audio monitoring device is. When you got a bunch of stuff going on in your stream, you got the gameplay coming into your ears, you got the chat coming into your ears, you got alerts coming into your ears, you have your friends that you're playing with coming into your ears, everything is coming through your ears. You need to make sure that you have an audio monitoring device that you'll be able to know works and you'll be able to hear everything. Because when somebody comes up into your stream and they want to show you love, they want to show you support, and they follow you, or they donate to you, or they sub to you, you always want to show recognition for that person. You always want to thank them. You never want to let it go by unnoticed or just make that person feel unwelcome or anything like that. You're always interacting with your chat. You always want to make them feel loved, and you always want to make them feel appreciated. And at the end of the day, they're doing you a solid by giving you that follow or that sub or anything like that. So you want to make sure that you're hearing the monitoring device for your alerts and for your stream. Make sure it's set to something that's not funneling your gameplay through. Make sure it's not funneling anything else except for your stream audio. So yeah, that's the most important, whether it be headphones, whether it be your desktop audio coming out your monitor, whether it be speakers that you got hooked up to your monitor, anything. You just want to make sure that you can hear this, because it's super important that you appreciate your chat, interact with your chat, and then just show love back to your stream. Everything up in here, the recording, replay buffer, stream delay, all this stuff you can leave on default. Stream delay is not necessary. If you don't want to have stream delay, that's completely fine. Scene collections right here. So 9 out of 10 times, if you're using StreamLabs OBS, you're not going to be using the scene collections, because they got a bunch of nice overlays, they got a bunch of nice widget themes, all that kind of stuff. So you're not really going to be importing or exporting your own. But if you do want to make your own, this is where you would come. You would come to scene collections, import overlay file, import widget file, and then you're just going to kind of pop it in like wherever you see fit. And that's kind of your own little thing. Notifications right here. This you can 100% leave at default. I have it set like this just so it shows me when my stream is dropping in frames, or it's skipping, or it's lagging, or anything like that. This is 100% optional. I wouldn't highly recommend any of this stuff, but it's completely up to you. Appearance right here. This is where you can switch up your theme. So you got night, you got day theme, Obsidian Prime, and Alabaster Prime. Sorry, I just butchered that. I like Obsidian Prime. If not, then I like night. Completely up to you. So honestly, all personal preference. It's not going to make any difference in your stream or anything like that. The scene item selection mode, honestly, I don't use it. You don't really need to use it. This right here, however, show the live doc chat on the left side. I recommend using this because you always want to interact with your chat. You always want to know what's going on. You never want to leave someone hanging, waiting for a response. They're honestly 9 out of 10 times just going to leave because you're not showing any appreciation or love to that person. So yeah, make sure you're interacting with your chat. Make sure you're showing love. You never want to just stream to people that take the time out of their day to come watch you and then don't show them the appreciation back. So I would recommend having this on. If you don't, then that's completely up to you. It's not going to make or break your stream, but yeah. Remote control, don't use it. Virtual webcam, don't need it. Game overlay, don't need it. And installed apps, that just shows you what you install from the App Store. You can disable it, reload it, anything you want. This is where your overlays and stuff will go. So yeah, that's all your settings. So after that, you're just going to come out here and it'll more or less look the exact same because you haven't inserted any scenes or sources yet, but you've changed a lot of the important things that you need to start up your stream. So now this next part's pretty easy. You're just going to add in a bunch of scenes. So when you install a theme, chances are it's going to already come with a starting screen, an intermission screen, an end screen, and a live screen. Once you have those screens already, you're going to go into those scenes. Like I'm in right here, this YouTube scene. You're going to go and you're going to add a source to the scene. So right now, my screen and Elgato mic are in my scene right now. My screen right here is a display capture. It basically displays your monitor, so I can allow you guys to see what's going on my computer as it happens. And the mic obviously is the mic I'm talking to you guys through right now. So when you want to add a scene or a source, you hit this little plus button. This is the scenes, this is the sources. You can hit this little plus button right here. You can add, honestly, everything you need. Images from the internet, browser sources, image slideshows. A display capture, like I said, is going to be your monitor. Game capture is going to be if you're playing on your PC, like Among Us or something like that. You're going to add a game capture, and then you're going to put in the browser source for what you're playing through or on, and it's going to pop up your Among Us game, and then you're going to let your stream watch it. The audio input capture, this is going to be USB mics, any other USB devices, built-in microphones into your webcams, anything like that. OpenVR, you're not really going to use this a whole lot unless you're a VR gamer, which by chances you're probably not. Color source, you don't really need this. Media source, so if you want a sound file, if you want to use a specific song or maybe like a funny sound meme or soundboard thing, if you want to use that sound in your alerts, then you're going to import it through a media source. It's got to be one of these files right here, MP4, FLV, MP3, OGG, GIF, anything like that. You're going to input it through the media source. Text, you're not going to use this a whole lot, but if you want to input some text, I don't know, just have like I love you at the top of your overlay. You can just input a text source, type in something, pop it up there. Don't really worry about the window capture. You don't really need it. The video capture device. So this is going to be your webcams. It's going to be your capture cards if you're a console gamer. So this is where you bring in the window here. Let me show you guys. So the video capture device right here, I'm going to add this source. So you can see me right here. See? What up, bro? You're going to add your webcam like this. You're going to pop it in, and then you're going to move it around wherever you want on your overlay. And now I'm in the stream. I'm in the video with you guys. What up? So just like that. If you want the webcam to be underneath your screen, you move it under. But yeah, guys, this is how you enter a webcam or anything like that. If you want to lock it in place, you can lock it like this. I can't move it anymore. If you want to make me disappear, you can just hit the I button. It won't show up anymore like that kind of thing. And if you want to like make it go away, you hit the little minus button right here, and it'll just take away the source. That's for webcams, capture cards. Audio output capture is going to be for stuff like your desktop audio. People think you need audio output captures. You don't. There's nothing wrong with having them, but you don't need the audio output capture in your source. For scenes, you're just bringing over a scene into your sources. Not really that useful. So here in the widgets, this is what I love about StreamLabs OBS. You can add in a bunch of widgets, do a whole bunch of funky stuff with it. You can add in alert boxes, follower goals, tip tickers, event list, view counter, credits, donation goals, bit goals, anything like that. Like stuff you see on a lot of streamers, overlays that make it just look a lot better. It shows like the contribution of your viewers, and it shows the goals that you have and what you want to get to, whether it be 50 followers for affiliate or 100 subscribers to buy something or something like that, you know what I mean? Or 50 subs to shave your head, you know what I mean? So this is where you're going to put that kind of stuff. Here, let me give you the little show. So you're going to add in the alert box right here. Move it around wherever you want on your screen. Set it up. I like to set it up somewhere in the middle, make it a little bit bigger, set it up like this so everyone can see it. You're going to double click into your alert box, and then it's going to show you what's going on. So you can set up right here what you want to show in your alert box. So bits, donations, merch, subscriptions, follows, hosts, and raids. Just a little flick of the switch right here. And then you're going to go in, and it's going to show you your media, your animation, your alert settings, everything. And then once you're all done setting all this stuff up, you can go up here and test the widgets. And then if you test one of these, it shows up like that. So basically that's how it works. And then again, if you want to like put it away, hide it, lock it, make it go, just like that. So the sources are pretty easy once you get the hang of all this kind of stuff. Scenes, super easy. Sources, super easy. Once you add a source, however, you're going to want to go over to the mixer. In the mixer right here, you're going to see this little cogwheel for your audio properties. When you go into the audio properties, depending on what it is, if it's a capture card, you're going to want to put it to monitor and output. That way you and the chat can hear what's going on, what you guys are hearing. The Elgato mic, leave it off because you're just talking into it. You don't need to hear yourself echoing, but the chat will still hear you. The desktop audio, you're always going to want to have it on monitor and output. That way the chat can hear it and you'll be able to hear the alerts coming through. And you're just going to want to tinker around with the sound, put it a little bit higher, put it a little bit lower. I can make my mic go down lower like this, and I can make my mic go up way higher like this. You know what I mean? So you're just going to want to tinker around with the settings to how you like it. But that's pretty much the gist of StreamLabs OBS, guys. Other than that, just down here, it's just a little bit of stuff. Get help, studio mode, layout editor, CloudBot, dashboard. You honestly don't need to touch any of that stuff. If you want, you guys can just tinker around with it a little bit. But that's the main gist of StreamLabs OBS. If you guys want a video on OBS Studio and how to set all that stuff up, I will gladly make that video for you guys. If not, then I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.